Going live, Taresh Bhatia going live. Yeah, I'm going live. Yeah, episode 1 takes time. And here I am, going live. Yep, yes. One, three, two, one. This is what really happened, what really changed this week beyond the headlines into better financial decisions. Welcome to the first episode of the Taresh Bhatia weekly financial intelligence episode. Hello, everyone. I'm CFP Taresh Bhatia, certified financial planner professional, and welcome to the very first episode edition of Taresh Weekly Financial Intelligence Report, where every week we go beyond the financial headlines to understand what they really mean for Indian individuals and families, and for those of you who are watching live right now. Every week, newspapers, TV channels, financial portals, and social media flood us with hundreds of financial stories. One day, it's about SIPs, the next day, it's about EPF, then it is about NPS, then trying to gauge whether this helps you in your retirement, and then mutual funds, then retirement for you made easy, then taxes, and then the changing format of the Indian financial markets. And here's the problem: most people consume these stories one by one, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and very few connect with them together. What brings them together? And that's exactly what this report, this episode, this live telecast is designed to do for you. Because financial freedom is never created by one headline, it's created by understanding how all these developments fit together into one financial life. So let's begin. This week's the big picture first. How when I reviewed every major financial story published this week in various newspapers, TV channels, financial influencers, something became very clear. At the first glance, these stories looked completely unrelated. You know what I mean? EPF reforms, NPS dashboards, retirement planning, SIP investing, mutual funds, portfolio allocation, financial freedom, different headlines, different publications, different YouTube channels, different experts at different levels. And when you step back, they all point to one single message: India is rapidly modernizing its financial products. The bigger question is, are Indian families modernizing their financial decisions? That, in my opinion, is the real story of this week. Stay with me till the end. Do subscribe if you still haven't so that you remain updated. The first story is EPF is becoming smarter. This week, we continue to see significant discussion about EPFO, the digital news, the digital services, faster transfers, improved claim processing, interest credits, operational improvements have become much better. All of this is welcome. Technology should absolutely make retirement administration much easier. But here's the question nobody seems to be asking, or asking the wrong questions. Just because your PF provident fund is account is becoming smarter, does it automatically mean your retirement is becoming stronger? Ask yourselves. Checking your EPF balance is important. Checking whether that balance will actually support your lifestyle retirement. Your lifestyle, or rather, let me call it your retirement lifestyle, is even more important. A better website cannot replace a better retirement strategy. That is where financial planning actually begins. Let's go on to the next story. NPS is becoming more transparent. The second major story this week was the launch and continued discussion about, or rather around PFRDA's NPS Pride Disha initiative. Subscribers can now compare returns, analyze fund performance, and review thousands of days of historical NAV data. Big. There's a significant step forward for transparency. But here's my fine observation: dashboards compare numbers, financial planning connects numbers to your life. A dashboard cannot actually answer questions like, can I retire at 55, 58, or 62? Will inflation affect my lifestyle? Will my spouse remain financially secure, and how? How much monthly income will I actually receive? How is inflation going to impact my retirement fund? Technology improves information, planning improves outcomes. That's the distinction every investor should actually be understanding, not just the numbers. Story 3: retirement has become the biggest financial conversation today. Across multiple publications this week, retirement planning dominated the headlines. Not just pension products, not just NPS, not just EPF, but retirement income, income withdrawals, sustainable cash flow, and planning for life after works. That tells me something important. India is moving from asking, how do I accumulate wealth, to asking, how do I convert wealth into lifelong financial security? Those are very different conversations. In my opinion, accumulation builds a corpus, distribution builds a retirement, and the skills required are completely different. Story 4: the no mutual funds yet retiring at 50 story. This one article attracted my enormous attention. A person planning to retire early without using mutual funds, direct equities, or crypto. Oh my god. Many people immediately start debating products. Should we avoid mutual funds now that this was a news? Should we avoid equities because this article states so? Should everyone follow the same strategy? I think those are the wrong questions. The real question, the real lesson rather, wasn't the absence of mutual funds. The real lesson was decades of disciplined planning, consistent saving, and alignment between goals, your risk appetite, and execution. Products may differ. Discipline remains universal. Story 5: every product has a job. This week also saw renewed discussion around hybrid funds, arbitrage funds, and asset allocation. Those who would like to read the fine points. But whenever a category becomes popular, investors often ask, should I invest in this? My response is very different. Before asking whether a product is good, ask whether it has a defined role in your financial architecture. A liquid fund provides liquidity. An arbitrage fund, if you understand, may serve as short term parking needs. An equity mutual fund aims for long term growth, diversified. A retirement account supports long term income. A home provides shelter. That's it. Insurance transfers risk. Every financial instrument has a job. Problems arise when we expect one product to do everything. Now, finally, my big insight of the week. After analyzing every major financial story, I realized they all combine, they all share one common theme. India is becoming very good at creating financial products. Yep. We now have EPF, we now have NPS, we have equity diversified mutual funds, we have insurance, then we have digital dashboards. And continues investment apps, retirement tools, then more analytics, transparency, technology. Is 10 enough? But having more products does not automatically create better financial lives. The missing link is integration. How do all these pieces work together? That's the question financial planning answers. Now, make notes. Make notes. My question is, my five questions for every family are, instead of asking which mutual fund, which SIP, which NPS, which particular EPF option is the best, or rather adding on which insurance policy should I take, I encourage every family to ask five more fundamental questions. Make notes. What kind of life are we trying to build? How much money will we actually need? When will we need it? What risk could derail all these goals? And finally, the last question: which financial products should perform each specific role? Now, notice the sequence which I've said these. Products come last, planning comes first. But what the media taught us this week, this week's headlines taught us that financial literacy is improving, technology is improving, transparency is improving in India. But financial decision making still needs to improve in India. The next decade in personal finance will not be won by those who constantly chase the newest product, newest service, newest app. It will be won by families who build one connected financial system. One connected financial system. Now, let me leave you with one final thought. Imagine I removed every product name from your portfolio. No mutual fund names, no SIP names, no insurance company names, no app names. Would you still be able to explain how your financial life works without these, removing the names? Now, if the answer is no, then the issue isn't your investments. The issue is your financial architecture. Financial freedom doesn't come from owning more products. It comes from connecting the right products with the right purpose at the right time and adding your risk appetite to it. That's the real story which I wanted to share behind this week's headlines. Thank you very much for watching. I'm CFP Taresh Bhatia, and this has been the Taresh Weekly Financial Intelligence Report. Now, if you want to have more insights and you want me to give specific insights to something, put in the comments below. I will see you next Friday with another edition where we will once again go beyond the headlines and go better and into better financial decisions for you. Till then, whatever financial decisions you're making, make them better financial decisions. Whatever apps you're using, ensure that they are not just because somebody told you or it just came to you. Ensure your financial data confidentiality whenever you share anything anywhere with anyone, so that your information, your data, your documents, and your planning is not compromised over the net. That remains not a news this week. Subscribe, share with someone this particular episode if you feel that person may or should be introduced to this weekly sessions which I do every week. Thank you very much for being here. This is Taresh Bhatia, your certified financial planner. Thank you. It was live.